Welcome back to the Faculty Lounge podcast, y'all. Episode 68. I am your boy, Anonymous.
John J over here. What's crack-a-lacking?
Somebody breezy in the building. 2 Cup Breezy, Pastor Wilson.
Yeah, so we back in the building. You know, it's Sunday. Somewhere in the world, there's probably a Sunday service going on. Shouts out to Kanye West.
Yeah. Shouts out. So right after we put out the video saying when will Kanye ever put out music again, we get Jesus is King.
I feel like it was like 24 hours later.
Yeah, it definitely was like 24 hours. Because I was talking to a friend of the show, and he definitely confirmed it was out. Shouts out to the Keona and Kassan podcast.
Oh, yeah. Shouts out to the boys.
Yeah. So I've been listening. Let's start with you, Breezy. Breezy, Jesus is King. Let's have your initial. What are your initial thoughts on this one? On Kanye's latest effort?
So the first track comes in super fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the fuck this nigga doing?
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the album kind of slows down. The second track, Sela.
Yeah.
That's probably like my favorite track on there.
I think that's a highlight for
a lot of people were going crazy about On God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think they just like Kanye talking.
Yeah.
Like, he was just saying stuff, and they was like, ooh, he said something.
Yeah,
but
I feel that.
Nah, like, Sela was it for me. I'm proud that this was something, like, he stuck to and committed to. And, you know, you got Ty Dolla $ign on there, but you also got Kurt Franklin on there and shit like that. So, Kurt Franklin and Fred Hammond, so.
Yeah, Kurt Franklin on here?
Well, he's done shit with Kurt Franklin. So, Kurt Franklin is probably sprinkled into this album.
Fred Hammond is featured
Fred
on
Hammond,
this joint.
yeah.
Fred Hammond is featured, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenny G.
Yeah.
And the highlight.
Kenny G is like his family. Like, that's like his best friend, I feel.
And you know, Kenny G is a legend.
But the highlight of the album has to be Malice. Like, Pusha T always talks about how they turn down millions of dollars for one-offs.
Another clips, yeah.
Yeah, to do a one-off clip show. And they're turning down millions. But they got Malice on the album, you know?
Mm-hmm.
My first thought was, this is good Christian rap. You know? Like, it took me like 4 or 5 songs to realize Kanye West did not mention ass he paid for, or a Lamborghini, or a big-ass house. Like, he didn't mention any earthly things. And it took me about 4 or 5 songs to realize, oh, wow, he really stuck to it.
Yeah.
And he did it. And it's not churchy, preachy Christian rap. It's not all in your face, you got to go to church and pay your tithes. This is what I'm doing. So you can fuck with me if you fuck with me, because this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that I was telling y'all this when we were outside before we came in. I think that Chance has been telegraphing this thing for years now. That Kanye's next album is going to be a gospel album. Because a Good-Ass Job was supposed to be a gospel album.
And that's crazy that he's the one person I expected.
Yeah.
The one person I missed was Rick Ross, because Rick Ross has been on every project since, like, My Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Right.
But, yeah, I really thought Chance was going to be on this album. Like, there was no doubt in my mind that Chance was going to be on this album.
Yeah, I found it kind of weird that we didn't get any of the Chicagoans on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like none of the Chicago people that he worked with before. Because, I mean, when I think about this album, it's kind of like he's starting back at 1.
Yeah.
He's going back to the beginning. But this is his 9th album.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is the highest level of change.
Yeah.
So
it's the rebirth.
Yeah. So I would imagine, you know, because I seen Rhyme Fest post the birthday cake with the Jesus King art on it, you know, and stuff like that. Like a Common feature probably would have been great.
Yeah.
I don't think Common's going to do that, though.
Yeah,
I feel like Common's not that guy.
They don't have that in common.
No.
This guy here.
No, but I'm see, and this is the thing. It's like I always have to chop it up. Like when it's stuff like this, I have to chop it up to, man, I'm glad he's doing this with his life. But the music didn't hit for me immediately. Maybe it will in the coming days and months. But for now, it's like, man, it just didn't hit the mark for me in the first few listens.
I mean, I'm probably not going to listen to it again.
It And that's what makes me so sad, because I wanted something that I would be able to have at least one go-to.
When was the last time Kanye gave you that one go-to? I mean, I guess you liked the last one too, right?
Yeezus is my favorite Kanye West album.
Yeah.
People thought I was crazy because I liked Yeezus so much.
Yeezus is amazing.
I was like, do you see what he introduced to music? And people were like, no, you crazy.
And those was the most provoking lyrics, the most thought-provoking lyrics he came with.
See, now, but this
outside
is
of graduation.
Okay,
I mean, not graduation, but late registration.
So now this is my thing for you, because the one criticism of Kanye West that you always have is Kanye West doesn't write his own shit. So how can you say these are the most prolific lyrics he's had? I guess you said he's had since graduation, but like you say, Malice wrote this whole album. So what makes this album a Kanye West album?
I mean, I would imagine the same thing that makes College Dropout his album. Rhyme Fest was right in there. Rhyme Fest and Consequence. And
right, but then Jay-Z was the executive producer of that album. So what did Kanye West do to deserve this platform?
I feel like we getting into semantics now. Like, man, it's trivial at this point whether he wrote it or not. He performed it, so it's his. It's his performance.
He bought it. He
could have wrote them lyrics. Could have been wrote for Pee Wee Herman. It wouldn't have been, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's Kanye West, it's great. You could have gave them lyrics to anybody, and it wouldn't have been what Kanye West produced.
Right. But I mean, like that song you talking about his daddy. What was it? What's the one he's talking about his daddy? I forgot. But he definitely wrote that. Like
when he was like, I was talking back to my dad. He says,
"Oh,
not God like."
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to.
They don't nobody tell you when you being Christ like, and
Yeah.
Water. I liked Water though.
Water was fire.
I don't like that song, man.
Cause we got that snippet, and that was like all like a live performance with a bunch of people around. He was performing it, but when you actually hear the track, it sounds a lot better, a lot better put together.
I didn't enjoy it.
I
didn't enjoy it. But and that's, I don't want to be that guy that gets the disclaimer. Oh, well, because he decided to do this and become a better person, now you don't like the music. It's like, no, I just don't like it sonically, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Like, man, I'm glad he found, cause like, man, it's not a knock on Christianity or finding your faith. I think whatever brings you peace is a beautiful thing, and you should lean on that with all your might. But if it don't sound good sonically, I'm not gonna lie about it because you found faith.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel that.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, man. It's all about, growing and becoming a better version of you.
Yeah.
True that.
On the topic of growing and becoming a better version of you.
Y'all
seen that Charlemagne the God did it again.
Wop. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Gucci is definitely like.
Wait, before we get into the interview, everybody listening, go and listen to Woptober 2. Great album.
Yeah,
for Gucci,
I still haven't listened to it, man. I gotta put that in on the way home.
Let's not lose sight of the great music with this interview.
Yeah.
See, that's messed up, man. That's messed up.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why you should definitely listen to the album first.
Yeah.
You listen to the interview first, you're going to be like, bro, I can't fuck with it.
See, but I had the different effect. I listened to the interview, and I went immediately to listen to Woptober 2 because I didn't even know it was out.
I don't know. So why would you say that? Why you say that?
Because I feel like that interview was like my overdose on Gucci. So it's like I'll listen to it in a couple days.
Are you a Gucci fan, though?
I'm not a Gucci diehard fan, but if Gucci come on, I'm going to leave him on. I would never, skip a Gucci song.
All right, so you wouldn't go search for a Gucci song, but if it's on, you're gonna leave it on.
What's the last Gucci Man album you can remember?
I mean, don't even go into that.
Okay. And now that's how I feel about Beyonce. Like, I'm not gonna turn off a Beyonce song once it's on, but I'm not gonna go search for a Beyonce song.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't feel that, but I feel that.
But yeah. See, I guess the interview was everything I was missing. From the moment they said Gucci is a clone until I heard this interview, I was like,
you thought Gucci was a clone?
I was like, man, who is this guy? Like, is he really changed that much? You know, like, it was refreshing to see that he hasn't really changed that much. Like, there's still a little bit of the old Gucci in there, but he's under control.
Yo,
You
that
know what I'm
last 5
saying?
minutes was old Gucci
Oh
for
yeah,
sure though.
he definitely But look, and you can say the old Gucci, but I think that's just a man with pride who's offended that doesn't have as big as a platform as the people who offended him to speak his mind. And you know he gonna put that shit really, really plain.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he did.
I mean, just like, there's certain aspects of the old Gucci that went away. That's great. Like how he was talking about, well, I don't want to go out of state. If they don't want me out of the country, I don't want to go out the country.
Right, like if
Right.
I don't want to sit down with Charlamagne,
His coping
don't
skills.
do it.
Yeah.
And now he's like, okay, I want to see Iceland. Like he said, Iceland.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then his ass said Dubai, and then literally went to fucking
Yeah.
Dubai.
Yeah, like it's cool to see this young, sober dude with all this money actually living his best life.
I feel it.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I didn't think he said anything wrong during the interview.
And he was a great interview too. Like
Yeah.
he answered the questions.
It was a
You know, like
It was a
know,
great
his-
interview, and
his-
I also appreciate the fact that like if he didn't right off the bat understand like the question that Charlamagne was asking, he was like, dive more into that. Break it down what
Yeah.
you want me to
yeah,
like speak my language now.
And then you
Yeah.
know his book was a bestseller as well.
yeah. I didn't.
I need
even
to
know
buy
he
the
had a
Gucci book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's great. I mean, if you think about, and what a lot of people miss when it comes to Gucci Mane is, dude is a freaking student of hip hop.
He is.
Like when you watch his interviews about who he was listening to when he first got into it, he was listening to Run DMC and you know EPMD and shit. Like yeah, like Gucci Mane. Look, Gucci Mane has what do you say 112 projects released since he started.
Yeah.
Like man, he loves
He
making
goes
music.
hard. You know who else is up there like that? Who you told me was a hip hop encyclopedia?
Who?
Is Currency.
Yep.
I seen the
Yep.
video of Currency spitting some PD crack the other day.
Yep.
Like wow.
You'll hear him spitting some nature.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
like
saying? And
like-
hip hop encyclopedia, Charlamagne as well. A
And
lot of
that's
people
what-
don't know that.
and that's what Pimp C was talking about.
Yeah.
How we from down here, you might think we stupid, but oh no, we're intelligent and we study just like people from New York or LA or Chicago.
Yep.
Like we're down here and we're paying attention to the same stuff y'all paying attention to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like yeah, we know about the 4 elements. Remember the first time a motherfucker asked me about the 4 elements of hip hop? I told him it was like food and clothes and they were like, bro, go home and do your research. This is before Google. This is pre-Google. Like I really had to go ask somebody else. What are the 4 elements?
Yeah.
You know, like I was
Like
a
somebody
classically
walking up to
trained
you and
pianist.
saying, what's today's mathematics?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know. You just don't know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Heck no. But yeah, I enjoyed the interview. And I think that something's going on with the Breakfast Club. But I mean, they had a good run.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. After an interview like this, yeah, something's gonna go on.
But I mean, I think even before that, because Charlamagne had just started his Netflix series, he just started his YouTube channel. You know, The Brilliant Idiots is his own thing, his podcast. So
Yeah.
it's like, man, you know, and then it's like DJ Envy's like super rich, mega rich.
Yeah.
And then it seemed like Angela Yee just seemed so minimized on the platform in general.
Bruh, you got her own lane.
I know. Like the Lip Service podcast is great. And she got her
juice
bar.
bar.
She got the hair thing. She doing the bundles thing. She doing.
Yeah, I feel
Like,
like
It seemed like her role is minimized on the show.
Every real record label, anything.
Mm-hmm.
You got her own lane for sure.
Yeah, and she, you know, she comes from Shade 45, Sirius XM.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I feel like it's 9 years though they've been in business. 9 years. I guess for a trio like that to like really walk the talk. You know what I'm saying?
For that
like,
long, yeah.
Yeah, because like you got Envy. Well, 9 years ago, Envy wasn't this rich. You know what I'm saying? It was motherfuckers coming in giving them that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Charlamagne found the motherfucker to help him write that book.
Yep.
Write the next book and get the platform to do the podcast.
Styles P came through like, man, y'all should start one of my juice bars. Like,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody has grown from where they were 9 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's amazing that Charlemagne, I mean, I guess DJ Envy still has the most money.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Like, hey, because it is DJ Envy's show, right?
Yeah, he's the A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, he has the most money. He got all the real estate. And didn't he buy his daughter, like, 6 cars for his 16th birthday or some shit?
I don't know.
Like, they were all
don't know.
white trucks. He bought, like, a white RAV4. Then he moved up to the white Grand Cherokee. Then he moved up to the white Benz truck. Then he moved up to the white Range Rover. Like, damn, just white trucks.
If he did, I would say that is light excellence.
Yeah, man, it's cool to see them all grow, you know? Yeah, man, I guess talking about interviews.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just like where, I mean, from the situation, it's just like, is it after 9 years you expect your relationship to be deeper? And this is tough when Charlemagne goes to do a job and the conversation with Gucci becomes so like offensive.
Yeah. I mean, what was Charlemagne to do in this situation?
Exactly. That's why it's like a tough. That's why it's tough.
Because if it's us and somebody got a problem with you, and I do an interview with them, like, man, I would do the courtesy of letting you know, like, man, he said this, and this. But the interview, it got to come out.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. It's like you've had your platform to speak your piece. It's only fair for him to be able to say whatever he going to say, whether it's true or not.
I don't see any negativity about it. Like, he went and Charlemagne definitely tried to squash it.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
He was like, man, hopefully we can get you back on the Breakfast Club.
I think it's Charlemagne's reputation.
Nah. And then, yeah, because Charlemagne has cleaned up his act as far as, like, being controversial, how he was, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now he's dialed it back, but he's gotten more refined with it.
Yeah.
You know? It's like listening to Malice and Pusha T on the same song. Like, Pusha T been rapping all this time. Malice just got back in the studio, you know, and you can hear it. You can hear that he's not as refined as Pusha T, who's been doing it.
It's not as much polish as it used to be.
Yeah,
as Pusha T has.
And now you see Charlemagne, like, his whole act is polished now.
Yeah.
Like, he stopped saying mayonnaise so much.
Yeah.
And now he's, like, asking the questions that we want to know, but in a manner that everyone can understand. You know what I'm saying?
But for him, he was like, I'm gonna try to get you on the phone. Well, first of all, he was like, I hope you guys can squash this. I hope you and Yee and, like, Envy can squash this, right? And then Gooch is like, no. I should call him Gucci, not Gooch. Gucci's like, nah, that shit dead.
Yeah, good.
Shit's dead.
El Gato.
And then he's like, I'm gonna try to get you and Envy on the phone.
Yeah.
But Yee was like chopped liver after that. It was like, nah, like.
Yeah, he ain't want nothing to do with it.
He ain't want nothing to do with that. And it was like the conversation had become so disrespectful. Like, and me coming, you know, as a woman, like, the conversation had just gotten, like, so disrespectful.
Yeah, see, and this is what I noticed, though. I noticed that marriage changes guys.
Yeah.
Like, I hit it first. That was like, ha, ha, ha. You know, but
that
then
shit
when
was
Nick
so
Cannon was
whack to
like,
me.
when Nick Cannon came out and said some shit, it was like, bruh, y'all motherfuckers need to stop talking about my wife. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, Gucci Man, the whole Angela Yee thing.
Then Kanye came
like,
and said, hey, y'all need to stop talking about my wife. Yeah, like, niggas defend their wives. DJ Envy with Desus and Mero. Like, man, look.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
y'all offended my wife. Yeah.
My wife is...
I have to live with her.
Yeah, she's closer than anybody on my team.
Angela Yee got to get a husband so her husband could defend her. I'm just not going to respect you. Like, I respect my wife, so I'm not going to, like, I don't have the same reverence. Obviously, you don't have the same reverence for another woman that's not your wife. But as another woman, I'm not going to, like, hold you to some type of standard to not talk that shit. And this nigga on the camera, like, you want to suck my dick and da-da-da-da-da and, like, hand motions and your pussy. For what, Gooch?
But now, what was the beef about?
Well, it's pretty much Gucci was saying that Angela Yee was trying to holler at him and figure out what room he was in and shit.
But this
And
was
then
like 10 years ago, right?
It was a while ago.
But
A
then,
while ago for sure.
And then they played the clip.
It was like, yeah, like
Angela-
07, 09.
Right, Angela Yee. It wasn't lip service, but she was talking about her referencing her vagina, saying how deep it is.
Right, Asian girls,
right.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, and then Gucci took that and, furthered it and predicated that she wanted the
Fuck
WAP.
him.
Wanted the WAP.
But then why was he defending his wife at that point?
Because that was something else. That came from the People's Court segment that they did to see if Angela was telling the truth or Gucci was telling the truth and all of that.
They did a People's Court segment on this shit? Well, Harvey Levin?
No, on the Breakfast Club. Yeah. So it was several different things after that.
Right.
So it was like Gucci come to the Breakfast Club, Envy ain't there. Then they do the People's Court thing, Charlamagne ain't there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a whole bunch of shit going on that we don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, because there's longer shows, right? Like Ebro in the Morning has been around longer than the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club is the originator of this shit.
Ebro in the Morning is a relatively new show.
I guess Funk Flex has been around.
Is probably like the longest running.
Flex or Angie.
Angie got out of there.
Yeah. Angie Martinez ain't doing her show no more?
She's doing another one, but Angie
just
had.
As far as you talking about being a radio personality having a show.
Well, I guess I mean a show.
Angie had a joint, and then like she left that situation and went to another one.
Yeah, so it'll be Flex.
I mean,
or Big Boy.
Even Mike Love and the Diz or Steve Harvey, like all of these guys, all these radio shows, they don't last that long. I mean, the personalities come and. They
Love have been around for a very long time.
But I mean, it's a different show now.
Oh,
it's
you talking about as far as
show.
like stations?
Like the Breakfast Club
is
9 years old. It's about time for it to disband.
I mean, it could have been. It could 100% be
right,
Angie. Angie had like 15 years. What?
Yeah, the Bad Boys had like a 10-year run.
Yeah, it's about that time.
It's about that time.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it sucks that it's gonna go like this. Like, we see the show ending?
They go out like rock stars.
You think the show? I don't see the show ending.
I don't see it ending. It's gonna be hostile for a while.
I see if they don't own the Breakfast Club name, the Breakfast Club will continue. The members may change though.
Yeah,
I could definitely see Charlamagne stepping away because he got so much other stuff going on.
Yeah, and it's all going good.
Yeah. Envy is a DJ, so he'll always be in radio.
Always be there.
Because it's another check for him.
Yeah.
He always had a check.
Yeah.
And then
he
Angela.
can literally just go walk away and go vacation with somewhere
Anywhere.
nice with no mosquitoes.
Pretty much.
Anywhere.
Linen shorts, so much. Yeah. All right, but yeah, speaking of interviews, we got something very special coming up for you guys.
Yeah, man.
We're about to put in a call to Scott Rickett, the owner and master brewer at Rickett Brewing.
Yeah.
All right, make sure you check out RickettBrewing.com. That's Rickett, RICKETT, brewing.com.
So that's what's going to happen as soon as we get up out of here, right?
Yeah. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could just edit it to make it look like a different segment.
Well, I mean, let's get to this dumb shit Wack 100 said.
Well, we literally got 2 minutes before.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's just dive into the West Coast right quick with Wack 100 in the game.
So basically, Wack 100 was on a phone call with somebody, and the person asked him, "How do you feel about Nipsey's passing and the person that killed him?" That was it. Mm-hmm. Wack went on and said Nipsey got what he deserved because you're a hood person. You were a gangbanger. This was a rival gang member. Whatever you said. This, that, and the third time you called him a pussy, a faggot, and a snitch, and a rat.
And he handled his
business. So he was speaking on street politics.
In a private nature.
In a private conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that was recording him knew he was going to go leak the conversation on some snake shit. And, basically blasted it as Wack saying that Nipsey got what he deserved. And
that's foul.
Right.
That's foul. You don't take no private conversations. But, we see it all the time. We see it with Donald Sterling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
One thing Nips always spoke on and was not shy about speaking on was that the energy he put into the universe, he had no hard feelings if it ever came back. He know what he did in the streets, and if it came back to him, he knew that was just him reaping what he sowed.
Yeah.
It was like, I seen when some reporters ran up on Nip, and he was like, man, look, I'm a fucking Crip. Like, man, you run up on me and get shot. Like, for real. Like, man, I'm a man before anything, but I'm a neighborhood Crip, my nigga. Like, you running up on me with cameras and shit.
Yeah, you don't know me.
Yeah, you don't know me.
Yeah, man. Speaking of the crippin', man, shouts out to Vince Staples, man. He say, I fuck with Kanye West because the way he feel about Jesus is how I feel about this crippin'.
Hell yeah.
Fucking Vince Staples, man.
Definitely a fan of Vince Staples over here.
Yeah, man.
Yo, did y'all see? Y'all saw old girl and Wendy Williams modeling and throwing up Crips?
I did not.
Yeah.
Gang banging is alive and well.
Alive and well.
You know who else is alive and well?
Nope.
Kelly Ripa's son, living in extreme poverty. These motherfuckers are so out of touch, man. I wonder how much Kelly Ripa thinks a loaf of bread costs.
I don't think Kelly Ripa buys anything.
Fuck it, man.
Groceries.
Hey, man. It's time to get back to the students, man.
Double salute.
Yeah.